Councillor Convery, you are to answer a question from Councillor Gilbert.
Good evening, John. The answer to your question, I'm not doing the accent, by the way. The answer to your question, John, dear John, is that the additional money that the Executive is allocating for repair of potholes in this borough, the specific allocation methodology has not yet been determined. It's our intention that elected members and others will nominate, identify sites and locations on roads, and based on the condition and the benefit to the community from those repairs, will we use an objective methodology to determine which is of highest priority.
Thank you very much to Councillor Convery for answering the question I addressed to Councillor Smith, who's clearly got better things to do than answer questions about his portfolio for members of this council. I do have a supplementary question. I welcome the announcement that Councillor Convery has made, but it sits rather oddly with what Councillor Smith told us at the May Executive, which was that the money would be spent on filling potholes in roads in working class areas. Does Councillor Convery agree with me that this return to loony left language is nonsense in a place like Islington, where we have social housing literally next door to houses in single occupancy owned by multi-millionaires?
Well, John, here's something for you to mull on. I said earlier that this borough historically has been a borough predominantly of people living in affordable tenures, predominantly of people on average and below average earnings. And, you know, as somebody that's lived here 30-odd years, I would say that a large amount of Islington is of a working class character, and I greatly welcome that. It's the right culture, it's what the people are. But here's the important thing. There are parts of this borough where we have seen trophy environmental improvements, where we have seen repaving and resurfacing in places where it's not really needed, in places that really get up the nose of a lot of people in this borough. And the forecourt of the town hall, for example, John, I think you just said, where did you? Well, there's your answer. That's not a bad example. And I can think of one or two of the grander squares in this borough and one or two of the thoroughfares where I have seen repaving and resurfacing of pavements and roads that were fixed up just a couple of years earlier. And I'll tell you this, I think there is an interesting correlation between where your administration spent £20 million in the last financial year repaving and resurfacing roads, often for the cosmetic political impact that that would generate for you. I'm glad to say the people of this borough took no damn notice whatsoever. In fact, quite a lot of them said this looks like a bit of environmental gerrymandering going on in this borough. And large numbers of people were astonished to see pieces of astonishing back-patting, self-congratulatory environmental improvements. I can go around several parts of this borough and I can see engraved paving stones which pat your administration on the back for the marvellous spending of money. We now discover that 20 million quid spent on repaving and resurfacing roads that didn't need it was an astronomical waste of money, when right throughout this borough there are roads that are littered with potholes, and we are going to fix them to make good your negligence. That's what we're going to do.